Hello, this is NWHut97 for another Destiny video. Today I am going to show you all of the little perks on the Gunslinger. So, you have the Gunslinger. You have, with grenades, you have the Incendiary Grenade, which is a grenade. As soon as you throw it and it hits the ground or the wall, it bounces, then it explodes and causes damage over time. This is actually a really good grenade and is extremely popular for PvP because not only you do a lot of damage, but you also do ongoing damage after the main damage phase. Only problem with this is that ever since the recent patch, the ongoing damage has been decreased, and apparently it's a glitch and Bungie's going to fix it. But other than that, this is probably the best grenade for PvP and PvE, and I just really like this grenade. The next one is Swarm Grenade. A grenade that detonates on impact releases multiple drones that seek nearby enemies. This is actually the worst out of all of these, probably the worst out of all of the subclasses in Destiny, because one, the Blade Dancer has something very similar to this, but the only problem is that they are a lot better than the Swarm Grenade, because the Swarm Grenade has very limited range of damaging you, and while at the same time it's not one-hit kill like what most grenades are. It actually does the least amount of damage, I think. So, Swarm Grenade, not so good. I kind of recommend not to use this at all. Tripmine Grenade. An explosive grenade that sticks to surfaces and detonates when enemies pass through its laser trigger. This is actually the most popular in PvP. And with the recent patch, they actually nerfed it. And that means nerfing means that you decrease its power of some sorts. So Tripmine Grenade, it sticks on walls and on the floor. What it used to do was that it could stick on people, and that was a sticky grenade, and that was a one-hit kill. But Bungie took out the stickiness, so you won't be able to stick it on them and one-hit kill. And if it's on the wall, then it's not a one-hit kill if you have a high armor stat. That's this stat right here. So the thing is that most people don't even have a very low armor stat because it's kind of smart to have. So you're not gonna get one hit with this grenade if you have all your health. So this is still a really good grenade. It's not as good as it was. But everyone's using it because the Incendiary Grenade has a little glitch and all that. Okay, for the jumps, double jump. Jump a second time after leaving the ground. So it's like a double jump, like if you played Sly Cooper, it's just like that. So you press you press the X button twice and then you jump, which is good because Destiny is revolved around like jumping abilities and staying on the air for a long time. And actually the Hunter is really good because you could kind of like shift using left analog stick into different directions, which can be very, very useful, especially with some of the exotics that they have. So let's look at the other bonuses they have. Better control. Upgrades double jump for better directional control while in the air. This is actually really good because it gives you more horizontal spacing than regular double jump. So basically you could jump farther instead of what you regularly do with double jump. Okay, so next one is triple jump. Upgrades double jump with a third jump. This is great because you could jump 3 times instead of 2 times. And most people like to use this with PvE, and because you can get to high places, you can explore all over the place. I mostly run with this, but some people use better control for PvE. And then you have higher jump. upgrades double jump for a greater height. So this is actually okay, but triple jump is a lot better because you can move around a lot more. And higher jump just gives you a higher, you know, vertical jump instead of, I guess it's the opposite of better control, honestly. But triple jump is a lot better than higher jump because you don't have to worry as much as like falling down a cliff or something. So the super of this class is Golden Gun. Summon a flaming pistol that which disintegrates enemies with solar light. Depending on what your controller is, you activate it by pressing L2 or R2 or L1 and R1. This super is actually really good for PvP, and ever since the recent patch, it's actually gotten a lot better in PvE as well. Okay, so the first additional perk in here is called Deadeye. Significantly increases the accuracy and damage for Golden Gun. Before the patch, Deadeye used to increase the accuracy of Golden Gun, so basically this perk was just crud. Nobody used it at all. But ever since the recent patch, Golden Gun is now, with Deadeye, is a lot better. So people have been using this more with the exotic called the Celestial Nighthawk, which gives you 1 bullet for Golden Gun and gives you 6 times more of the damage. So if you add this with the Celestial Nighthawk, you get a lot more damage. Also, for a note, Golden Gun, you get 3 bullets for the super. Okay, the next one is Combustion. Killing enemies with Golden Gun causes them to explode. This is good for PvE because that, you know, you could, let's say you have a couple of thralls coming in, and you know, you shoot one of them and one of them dies and it explodes, and you can take out the other thralls. This is very good for grouping, but it's not so handy for PvP because you don't see that much you know, people close to each other, and even then I don't think it's a one-hit kill in PvP. So honestly, this is a PvE you know, perk right here. Then the last one is Gunfighter. Reduces the cooldown of Golden Gun, allowing it to be used more often. This is a straight out all around really good perk right here. You can use it for PvE or PvP. I prefer to use it on PvP because Combustion is actually a really good perk. But if you want to use Gunfighter, hey, I am not, you know, cursing you for life for this. This is actually a really good choice. Okay, throwing knife, probably the most favorite thing about this class. So you throw a knife from a distance. It's kind of like Call of Duty with the tomahawk, only it's not one-hit kill. Ha, yeah. So, the first perk here is Circle of Life. Precision kills with throwing knife reduce Golden Gun's cooldown. Honestly, this is kind of useless because when you use your Golden Gun, you will be focusing on shooting somebody instead of actually, oh wait, no. Before the patch, Circle of Life was actually really bad because if you were to kill someone with a throwing knife, you have a more super energy on using it. But the thing is, you could use all 3 of the bullets 3 times within like 2 seconds, and you would just lose all the super energy. So this perk used to be useless, but now it's actually gotten a lot better. It says, like I said, precision kills with throwing knife reduce Golden Gun cooldown, and that's actually really good. It's kind of like the amplify for the striker on the Titan, so you could use your super more often. Okay, so the second perk is Incendiary Blade. Throwing knife catches enemies on fire, dealing additional damage over time. This is a lot like the Incendiary Grenade, which causes damage over time, only it's in throwing knife. You could throw this on someone's head in PvP, and there's a good chance that might be a one-hit kill, which is actually very good. But they also in the recent patch, they you know, nerfed throwing knives pure damage stat. So I've been seeing a lot of people use a Incendiary Blade because, you know, they're trying to like cover the damage that they were doing with throwing knife, but now with incendiary blade. But the thing is, it takes a little bit longer to kill somebody. So, you know, you could use incendiary blade. It's actually good for PvE. So the last perk for the knife is Knife Juggler. Precision kills with throwing knife immediately resets its cooldown. Back before the patch, this was like the best thing to use in PvP. Like you could just use a hand cannon, get a headshot, throwing knife, and boom, they're dead. And then you can get that knife back, and then you could just do a lot of good stuff with you know, this. But the thing is, you know, now throwing knives do less damage. So instead, what you used to do is you could shoot someone with a hand cannon with a body shot or a headshot, then throw a throwing knife into their head. Now you need to throw a headshot and a throwing knife, which is actually could be a lot more harder. The thing is, you can still do it, but you would prefer, you'll want to kill them, you know, with a body shot and a throwing knife to the head, or like a headshot or a throwing knife to the body. So people have been using incendiary blade more than Knife Juggler, but this is still a good perk. These are all of the stats you get for you know, your Gunslinger. You automatically get agility high because Gunslinger is a hunter, which gets more agility. And you know, it's the same thing with Warlock, only he has more recovery, and then the Titan has more armor. So these little stat boosts gives you more bonus to your armor, recovery, and agility depending on what you want. I honestly cannot recommend anything involving with stats because everyone's different. But for me personally, I like to use I like to have armor and recovery, you know, around mid, and then have agility, you know, to have the highest, obviously because of the hunter. The reason why I have armor and recovery on is because that one, you can't get one hit with trip mines, and two, recovery is actually good for restoring your health in PvP. So with this tree here, you actually have interesting selection. First, you have Scavenger. Picking up ammo reduces the cooldown of your grenade and throwing knife. This is actually a semi-good perk with PvE if you want to use your grenade a lot more. This is actually handy for Challenge of Elders if it's like catapult and like you know, getting more grenades with you know, bonus damage. But honestly, I never used this perk because the other two was actually a lot better. Okay, Keyhole. Golden Gun penetrates and can damage multiple targets. This is an excellent perk for someone grouping up. You know, just like with the Thralls, you know, this is just a really good perk. Like, I always use it for PvE or PvP. Some people don't like it because you know, they prefer the other two perks, but this one's really good because you could have one golden gun shot in PvP and kill two guys with one bullet, and you could literally say you killed two birds with one stone. Okay, next is Gunslinger's Trance. Precision kills increase weapon stability, stacks up 3 times. A lot of people like this perk because they use exotics with horrible stability like Icebreaker or, you know, machine guns and stuff like that. This is good because it completely helps them increase their accuracy and stability, therefore making them have a better chance of killing. There's actually a timer as soon as you activate it. I think it's like 10 seconds. It's probably like 8 to 10 seconds. So when you have this on, you know, you have a bonus to your stability up to 3 times, which you can have really good stability, and every time you kill someone with a precision kill, the timer resets, and so you can have the second up to 3 times. Okay.